Hello and welcome back to Writing My Journey. It has been a little while since I posted, and that's because my whole family got sick over the holidays. We've had we've had a cold and a stomach bug go through our house, and it's hitting everybody one at a time, so it is taking forever. So it's been a little crazy at my house. I actually left the house with the two little boys just to get a break because it was so crazy and overwhelming there. So the little boys are back there. The baby's, well, he's two. He's napping, and the other one I bribed with fries to keep him quiet while we're doing the video real quick in the car. So I just kind of wanted to give an update of what we're doing, or what I'm doing, what I've been working on, and kind of encourage you guys to keep going. And feel free to drop in the comments what you've been working on. It's been busy holiday season, so I know a lot of us have kind of taken a break and not been doing as much. I say that, but I've been really busy, so some of us have taken a real break, and others of us are gearing up to start the new year off strong. So comment below what you've been doing and what your goals are for this next year. I'd love to hear it so we can keep building up a community that promotes each other and encourages one another. So I launched a new scripture and prayer journal on Amazon KDP. I just put it out there. I haven't done any marketing. I was hoping to have it out at least a couple weeks ago because I obviously wanted to promote it over New Year's. But I wanted to have it in, and I wanted to have the photos of it. I wanted to make sure it was good before I started promoting it at all. So then it ended up taking like more than a couple days to get to me. So I haven't ran an ad for it. I haven't done anything. That was my goal, was to run an ad for it, but now I don't know. I might run it just for a few days just to see if by chance anything happens, but since I have no reviews on it, I haven't even told friends and family I'd done it because I didn't have it in hand yet. So I'm not sure if I'll just leave it there and hopefully it gains some traction on its own throughout the year. It can be started any time of the year, but it is like a 52 weeks prayer and scripture guide. So we'll see what I decide to do on that. I might try to run a couple ads, or a ad for a couple days. But I don't know if it's worth the money to do it. So we'll see. So I got that out, and then I have really been looking at my priorities. So there's a whole bunch of smaller booklets that I would like to write that I kept going and like starting all these ones, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll do this and I'll do this and I'll do that. And I was getting really sidetracked from my main goal, which was to start learning how to self-publish, so that way I could publish the main big book that I've been wanting to do for a couple years that I've been working on. So it was leaving me no time to work on that book because I kept wanting to do all these little booklets and get better at them and promote them. And so I've decided I need to step back and not do the booklets right now that I'm working on. I still have them. I still have them outlined. I still have some of, like, my book on depression is still, I think it's, I can't remember now. It's either 6 or 7 chapters, and I have the first 4 completely edited. So it's getting there, and it will slowly be getting there. So maybe, hopefully by February, I can actually publish that without it taking over everything else. I'll just slowly work on it when I have time. But I want to go back to working on my big book, and I want it to be a success when it launches. So instead of just being like this first book I did where I just put it out there and then I tell people about it and then hope that I get some reviews, which I don't have the picture of my metrics because I'm in the car. But Amazon shows that I've sold 36 books, but 20 of those were to myself because I didn't want to wait for the author copies to come in. So I actually dropped the price of my book as low as I could, ordered 20, and then upped my price back up. So I still had to pay more than I would have for author copies, but I got shipping for free, and it got here a lot quicker. So out of those 20, I've already sold, I think 4, and then someone else is waiting for me to bring them another copy. So let's see, 16 from online, and then another 5. So I've sold 21 books, which really isn't too bad since I didn't tell anybody about it. It was out of the blue. I did no marketing. I ran no ads on it. So I'm pretty happy with that. but I want to do better with this other book. I want it to be promoted beforehand. I want to have ARC readers. I want to have reviews by the time that it's coming out and launching and things. So I need to build up that audience, and I don't have an audience. So I don't have a successful Facebook page. I mean, I have my friends and family, which is less than 200 people on Facebook. I have an Instagram account, but like I said, I don't even know if it's even at 100 followers. Probably not, because I don't think I know that many people on Instagram. So I don't have any followers. I've started a blog a while ago, but it was not getting hardly any traction. I actually haven't posted on it since August. So today was actually the first time I posted on it since August. And I'll tell you what I've started posting here in a minute. But in my hopes to build up an audience for this book, I am trying to go back to figure out the easiest way for me to actually promote this book that's not going to take extra time, extra energy, well, not a whole lot of extra time and energy, and take me away from actually writing the main book that I want to write. So, hey buddy, you out of fries? You need more fries? Here you go. Good job. So the book I'm writing is about Christian resolutions. Not just like New Year's resolutions, but resolutions to live by. And I based the idea off of Jonathan Edwards' resolutions. If you know who Jonathan Edwards was, he was a pastor back at the 1700s, right before the First Great Awakening. So I have decided that I could put out my own resolutions that I'm working on 1 week at a time. However, then it's taking away from my book. That way, when I do grow this audience, if they've already seen everything, they'll be like, well, why do I need to buy the book? I've already seen most of what's going to be in the book. So I didn't think that was the wise way to go about it. But I've decided to put on my YouTube channel and my blog, and now a podcast, which sounds like a lot, but I'll explain it. So I'm going to go through Jonathan Edwards' resolutions a couple at a time and explain them and how they've applied to womanhood, and it's a Christian podcast. So that's what I'll be doing, is going through his. And so throughout this process of going through his, it's still helping me research for my other book, because a lot of my other book is based off of the same ideas, the same resolutions, the same type of daily living goals, things like that. So it's still helping me with my own research, but also giving people the idea of like these resolutions that you can use for daily living. And then I'll use that traction from that year, or not whole year. I'm hoping to publish this book by October. So it'll have that traction for months of hopefully gaining followers both on YouTube, podcasts, and through the blog, and Instagram and Facebook, hopefully just naturally, that then they'll be excited that there's actually someone has wrote a Christian women's resolution book, and so they can look at it and actually get ideas and practical applications for their life, versus looking at Jonathan Edwards, which is wrote in a lot harder to read language, and applies directly to him personally instead of a woman, mom, wife, that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that that is an easy way for me to use things that I'm already using for research and already excited about and already kind of know a lot about, and using that in an easy way each week to promote eventually having my book. So I did say it's a podcast, YouTube, and blog. So it seems like a lot, but really what I'm doing is I'm taking that research that I'm already doing, I'm writing it into a script. I am using ChatGPT type. It's not Chat, it's, what is it, Claude? Something like that. I'll link it below but I think it's called Claude or something. I'm using that to help me outline maybe the best talking points for podcasts, and then converting that into my script for what I'm going to say. And then I film it, and while I'm filming, I just do a quick video on my phone, and I have a nicer microphone. My son is a gamer and he had a microphone, so I'm using his microphone. So I have a little setup so you can see it all, you can kind of see me, but I can just upload the audio to the podcast area, which I'm using Buzzsprout to, I put it in Buzzsprout and it sets it out to everybody, to Apple and Spotify and I don't even know, lots of different places. So it can go on Amazon Music, it can go many different places, and they'll list it on there so people can find it on whatever podcast listening device they want, or app or whatever. And then I can take the video and I just upload that to YouTube. And so it's the same thing. I didn't have to do any extra work. It's just loading it to 2 different places. I use like the same description, same title, same keywords, everything. So it's just posting it over. And then I take that transcript from the blog or from the podcast and turn it into a blog. And then all I have to do is put it in my blog format, and then I just go through and I kind of edit things. You know, I add quote blocks where I need to, or I, you know, add subheaders and different things like that. And then I optimize that really well for SEO and make sure that I have my keywords in there in enough spots. Because when I'm speaking, the keywords that I'm using, I might not have used enough throughout, or, you know, there's not subheadings and things like that that SEO looks for. And then I go in and I post my photos for my blog, which are also my Pinterest pins that I'm using. So they're optimized for Pinterest already and are ready to go. And I have a pin it button on my blog. And so maybe if you guys have questions about that, I can kind of show you. I'm not very good at blogging, but I've done enough that I've got a blog up running, my own. It needs a lot of help and I would love to pay someone to do it eventually. But I do know some basic things that I can kind of show you what I've done. So that one whole script really turns into a podcast, YouTube, and then this blog without having to do a lot of extra work. And then I'm just taking clips from that and turning it into Instagram posts and stories, and then showing the stories over to Facebook. So that's what I'm doing, and we'll see. I'm hoping if I get something out every single week, it's going to hopefully slowly build over the next 10 months, and then by October, when I'm ready to launch, well, so about a month before, I will hopefully have a good enough audience that I can promote asking people to read my book, offer them a free copy to read it and possibly review it when it is, you know, so when it first comes out, I can immediately have some reviews. And then once I have about 15 reviews is my plan, then I can actually start running ads on it. And so my goal is October, hopefully everybody who's been following me can see it and it's posted, and hopefully I get a chunk of reviews. And then by the time the holidays are hitting, people are less likely to be reading themselves. And so they're less likely to buy books during that time period, is what I feel. I don't actually know. This is just in my mind what I do. So I'm less likely to actually read a book in November and December, at least, you know, new authors that I've never read before. But it's also the time that I am buying books for myself and I'm holding them till Christmas. So I'm hoping if my main audience who's really excited to see this book and have it out, get it in October and they read it, then they can be telling everybody else about it and be promoting it kind of just through word of mouth and everything. So that way in November and December, I get sales for Christmas time. And then because it is about Christian resolutions, I'm hoping that carries over into the beginning of the new year. So my plan is hopefully there's 3 good months that it will be selling somewhat consistently to boost me up on Amazon's seller list. And then I get seen more then. So that's my plan. I have no idea if any of this is going to work. Like I told you, we're just flying by the seat of our pants here. So tell me below what your plans are for the new year, what you're working on, anything. Give me that advice if you think anything I said sounds totally off base and you think something else should be done, or if you think I'm missing out on an opportunity to put myself out there where I should be. Oh, you should really be doing this. Like the TikTok thing. I've kind of backed off on TikTok because, for one, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I do have a couple out there and I've got people that are following, but the people that choose to follow me don't really seem like my audience, so I think they're just randomly following people and I don't get it. But I want to figure out if what all the mess is with TikTok, if it's really going to be around, if it's going to be a big hassle. I don't know anything about it. I just know that some people are like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to put effort into it right now. So I'm not going to put effort into it right now. I might throw some of my images on there with music and stuff and text overlays or something every once in a while. But right now I'm not going to concentrate on it because seriously, when I looked at Book Talk, everything I saw was not my type of books. It was mostly fiction stuff. It was mostly like fantasy things, which is not my audience. So I don't know how much of my type of audience is really on Book Talk anyways. So that being said, let me know if you think there's something that I am missing out on that I should be taking part in. And again, like this video and come back for more. Thanks. Bye.